Well, hello, wealthy women. I tell you, I am very excited about this next interview that we are going to be having because there are so many people who are looking for answers to their personal scenario and they don't know what to do. I have the perfect solution for you. So I'm not giving it away on purpose because I want Danielle to share with you how she can help, or maybe you know somebody who would be in need of this kind of help. It is breakthrough stuff and it is so valuable and so important and life changing. And I could not be more proud to get this interview to you. So, without saying any more, Danielle, go ahead and tell us about who you are, what you do, why you do it, and how you help. And we will get started now.
So I'm Danielle Ralston, and I am ADHD. For anyone that doesn't know what that is autism and ADHD combined. I'm actually autism too. And what that means is I was actually nonverbal as a child. So it took me a while to find my words, and now I'm hyperverbal. If you know me for 2 seconds, you learn that very quickly. But again, ADHD and autism together. And I've been an ADHD coach for over 25 years. And the first 5+ years of me coaching was I didn't even realize I was coaching. I was working in tech. I was managing a whole entire team of neurodivergent men, and I was teaching them to remember to take a shower every day and eat their lunch every day, and how to deal with being in a relationship and how to organize their time and how to do all of these things, and realized I'm coaching people. But that's not before I went back to college to get my degree in therapy, because I was trying to figure out my own brain. I lost a major client. My life was in chaos. I had a ADHD toddler in my house and a neurodivergent husband, which we didn't really understand what that was. I mean, I knew I was neurodivergent, but we didn't know they were. Though I had a pretty good clue at that point. And I was just trying to figure out how to fix my brain, because this was insane. Medication was not a option for me due to a lot of other things. And I was just trying to figure it out, and realized I was coaching everybody in my life, my husband, my son, every overwhelmed adult I came across. And I work with neurodivergence and neurotypicals, because if you're overwhelmed, every single thing that I teach works for everyone, not just somebody who is diagnosed neurodivergent. So 25+ years later, and now I have a full coaching practice. I also am an entrepreneur on the side and have agencies. I've built and sold 6 agencies, and have another one right now that is very small, purposefully so, and do multiple investments with my husband and things like that. So I've got a life outside of coaching, but coaching, I have 50+ certifications. I'm going back to school to get my behavioral psychology PhD, because there's not enough help, especially for adult women realizing their ADHD now. There is not enough help. So I want to change the language that's out there. I want to change the internal messaging that we have as women. And I want to change the accessibility to being diagnosed and understanding our brains and all of those things.
Wow, it's just such an amazing field, and you are such an expert with these years of experience and now wanting to even get more education so that you can serve more people. It is so important because, like, it's so quick that, let's say drugs are thrown at a situation, right? And it's just not the big cure for everything. And you're providing a more empowered solution. So like how would it show up if somebody wanted to work with you? Like, what are your programs? What can they expect? Just a little overview.
So one of the big things is if you are overwhelmed, burnt out, frustrated with life, have a diagnosis, think you might need a diagnosis, any of those things, whether it's ADHD, autism, PTSD, CPTSD, I even work with people with TBIs, any of those things. So if your brain is betraying you and you're frustrated with life because you're lazy, you procrastinate too much, whatever the stories we've heard are, I can help. How do I help? We have 4 programs. Our cheapest one right now and through the end of November is $19.99. Unlike most everyone that Black Fridays and drops their price and everything, my price is going up after Black Friday.
One moment, please hold on.
So I have 4 levels of programs. My 4 levels is I have a community level, and the community level allows people to join our online community. It is not on social media. It is on Mighty Networks. I totally lost my words there for a second. It's on Mighty Networks so that you're not going and doing the doom scroll on social media.
Oh,
and so that we have a safe place to go. And it gives you some of that same dopamine as being on social media without losing time and all of the things that go with that, and the depression that goes with social media these days, and all of those things. So we have that. And then we meet 4 days a week, for 1 hour, and you get hot seat coaching. And what does that mean? Hot seat coaching, you come in, ask the coach any question. Hey, I'm having trouble with using Canva in my business. I'm having trouble with, I don't know. I have so many tasks to do. I don't know what to do. We'll walk through how to help you in the moment you're in, whether you have your own business, you have a day job, you have kids and you're a stay-at-home mom, you're supporting aging parents and dealing with all of that. All of those things are things that we all deal with. How can I help you with the things that you need? Everybody has a chance to talk on the call. Sometimes they go a little long because of that, but we're there to help you. If people don't need me for anything, we use that as a guided body doubling. I set up some challenges for you to take some action and get things done. Then we have every morning, we have an intention setting call. They're just 15 minutes. So we come on, we set an intention for a day, not a goal, not I have to do this task. We set an intention to getting the task done. And then we talk about how to get that done. And we really try to make sure that you have the support you need for the day. How else do we do that? We have from 7 a.m. Central to 5 p.m. Central every single day, Monday through Thursday. We have unlimited body doubling. Come in and out, come in for 5 minutes to get the one thing done you needed, come in for 5 hours if you need to. It's there. And I actually am looking at a whole entire group of people body doubling right now. They've set their intentions this morning and they're diving in and taking action, because we don't need help with figuring out how to do my business or what my business is. You don't need help with those things. You need help taking action on all the things you know you should do.
Yes. I love that. I love that, because that is really one of the things for all, right? All people. It's like we know what we should be doing, and sometimes we don't do it. And then we get on our case and give ourselves a hard time, which just puts us in a lower energy state that doesn't help anything. And to have a support system like you're providing there to kind of pull people up and over, amazing. I love this. Yes. Great.
So that's our bottom level. And then our next level up is we have a $99 program. And this is $99 for life, which is why I just mentioned it, because it is chat only. It is texting only. We are open during normal office hours. We're also all ADHD coaches, so we could answer you at 2 a.m. if you message. You just never know. But it is chat only. It's having a coach in your back pocket.
I love that.
Ask the questions when you need it, how you need it, really
like
quick,
a hotline.
Really easy. It is. It's exactly. It's a texting hotline with a coach who will help you with overwhelm, whatever that overwhelm is. Beautiful. And then we have our next level program includes the community program. So that $99 level also includes the community. So you get the community and the chatting. So you get all of that. Our next level up includes the community, the unlimited chatting, and 1 30-minute call a week with a coach. And we will match you with the coach that you need. We have a profoundly deaf coach. So it's an ASL based coaching. So you do video. So you have closed captioning because it is verbal, as well as he can sign. We also have an addiction recovery specialist coach. We have a couple LGBTQIA coaches. We have a family sociologist that's a coach that has a best-selling book, and she works with teens and families to help them communicate better. We also have a sex coach. in our on our team who also has a comedy sex podcast. She's awesome, and hilarious, and all of the things that you would expect from somebody that quirky. And we also have an art therapy coach, and we have all of these coaches. We have 7 of them total. So you get matched with a coach that is going to help you the most. I'm not the only one. And then we have one that is includes all of the other things and an hour a week with a coach. So we offer as many options. And our biggest thing here is we're keeping our pricing on the lower side for pricing. The only thing that we do that would be considered a high ticket item is we have a retreat that we do every year. And that is a pretty major thing because we actually take a whole huge group to.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. You're okay now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we had
So
a little internet issue. Okay, all good. Sorry.
so we don't believe in high ticket coaching. We have one high ticket item, and that is a retreat every year because we take a group of neurodivergents or people who support neurodivergence to Disney World and
Oh my
show
God,
them
I love
how
it.
to use Disney World. There's a lot of science and neurology in how
Mm-hmm.
Disney World is built to, if you are overwhelmed with these types of things, let's go expose you to it, show you through fun and play, because that's a very important way to learn, and
Wow.
repetitiveness in Disney World, how to overcome the overwhelm or how to take some of that home, that magic, that relaxing, that dopamine need home with you. And we train people how to do that. We're actually taking people this year, and we're taking a group of teachers to help them for professional development so that they can use some of those things in their classrooms with their kids. So we
Wow.
do that every year. We do a trip to Disney World and we do all of this training, and it's all professional training. You get professional training certificates if you are a parent and dealing with having an ADHD child and don't know how to deal with it. You can get the professional training certificate still if you want and get certified in all these things. But we have a space for you and we have a track for you as well. But that is our one big fun thing that we do. But everything we do, we really try to keep economical and easy for people and give them as much access to us as possible.
I love this. It's really making a whole space for everybody in all the different ways that they might need it. And the idea of implementing the skill set that you teach and taking them to the happiest place on earth, right? And seeing it through different eyes now after the training you have with them. Just love what you're doing. I love so much. This is such important work that you can let people have access to the help that they need for the understanding, for the improvements they're looking for, and to, just be really heard, seen, and helped and available to them. I mean, it's just such a beautiful program. So, where do people go? Tell us your main URL that they should find all this
It
information on.
is really easy. It is ND, neurodivergent, ND out loud, because we believe living with our neurodivergence out loud. You will find my team and we go to professional conferences, and we actually went to a huge professional conference last year in Tutus and Crowns because we believe in being ourselves and being out loud and being
Yes.
proud of who we are, even
Mhm.
if it's not always the best. And I talk about neurodivergence being a superpower, and a lot of people get really, really angry. It's a disability. It's
So,
crippling for me.
gotta
Yes, it
change
is.
that language.
But you want to know why it's crippling? Because you don't have the support system the proper support system that you need.
That's right.
Medication is not 100% of the answer.
That's right.
Medication is not a magic pill. You also need other support and scaffolding and all of these things. And successful neurodivergent people, the one thing that they will tell you leads to their success is having accountability, a
Mm-hmm.
community of people that help, and daily interaction with someone to keep them on track. Those are the 3 keys to success when you are overwhelmed. End of
Yes.
story.
Yes. Yes. And it's so true because overwhelm is one of those things that can stop you in your tracks and really derail you if you yourself don't know how to, compartmentalize or simplify. And like what you said before, you set an intention, not a have to, not a whole like to-do list. You're basically helping your clients be set up for success, and that success leads to more success, and it just continues to grow like a muscle, right? And to know that they have this community, it benefits everybody. The work that you're doing would benefit the entire world, so it's just so lovely to know that it's just there to really be of service. So I just love what you're doing. It's so beautiful, the work that you're doing to, yeah, make lives better. I mean, you're just a transformational, beautiful helper, client,
Thank
I
you.
mean, coach, mentor, everything. So wonderful. Okay, so we're going to get on with our success questions. I love these because this will go and share a little bit about your journey and inspire others so that they can say, "Oh, okay, I am on the right track. Oh, okay, I'm not alone." That's how it goes for others too. So, one of my first questions I love though asking is, being an entrepreneur is such a great thing, right? But what was, if you could choose only one answer, what is the number one way that building a business of your own has enriched your life? And why would you suggest it for another woman to go ahead and build a business for herself?
Once I learned, once I learned to do this correctly, and there is no right or wrong way to do the business itself. Once I learned that I should not do it alone, and I needed that community and that support and that accountability. Once I added that piece, I have so much freedom
Mm,
in what I do. And I did this for 15 years on my own. I did everything myself. I had a VA that did a little bit, but I did this by myself. And I was proud that I was hustling and living the boss babe life. And I burnt out and I got sick and I was frustrated and it wasn't the roses and beaches that everybody tells you that living the boss babe life
yeah,
is. But
yeah,
once I got to myself the support that I needed, and the support I needed was somebody to check in with me daily, help me stay on task, help me, not my business, me. Once I got me the help I needed, there's so much freedom in owning my business, so much freedom.
I love that. And then you get to design it and you get to show up so authentically and create it the way you want to create it, right? Give yourself that permission to do so. Mm,
Right.
yeah. And then that's where all the beautiful freedom comes in, that whole, it's such a beautiful process, I think, to build your own business because you learn so much about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your wants, the things you don't want. And then you really start to give yourself permission to say, what is the most joyful way that I can do this? What matters to me? What do I really want to, have be an impact on others? And I love this. So you would recommend this to other women to continue their business journey because,
Continue. If you are struggling, if you are exhausted, if you are getting burnt out on your business should not burn you out. If your business is burning you out, you need support. End of story.
yes,
And it's not a
yes,
VA and it's not an OBM and it's not a social media manager. Those are actually the last things you should hire because they dilute your business and they create inauthenticity in your business, hiring everything but a VA. But even that can create that inauthenticity because you're handing off the power of your business and the power of who you are. Especially if you are a product business, that's a very different discussion. So
absolutely.
let's put that over here. But if you are a service-based business, hiring anybody else in your business, especially when you are new and aren't making your major six figures or anything like that, hiring anybody else is the worst thing you can do for your business.
Yes. And so it's all about being authentic and figuring it out for yourself and then streamlining it to best serve you so you don't burn out, right? And getting the help so that you can navigate it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Love that answer. Okay, the next question is, what empowering routines, I like to call them wealthy woman habits, do you follow each day? Do you have a morning routine? How do you set your own self up for success?
So, one, I take decision making out of every single thing in my life. That's my morning routine. There are no decisions. And there are women who are really high achieving women who are going to laugh at this, but you are exhausted and you are burnt out because you're making too many decisions every day. So, I don't make decisions. My clothing, I have a capsule wardrobe so that there are very few, everything matches everything else. It's very easy. It's reaching. And the only thing that may be a decision for me is it hot out? Is it cold out? Is it rainy? Do I want something warmer? Do I want something whatever? That's it. That's the only decision that I make when it comes to my clothing every day. Two, my shower routine is exactly the same on Monday, exactly the same on Tuesday. And I do have what I call a good, better, best system. And if I have autoimmune disorders, I have chronic illness, which is pretty typical for a lot of us that own our own businesses. If my energy level is really, really low, I have a checklist for the morning for my bare minimums. I have a better checklist. If I'm okay, but I know I'm going to run out of energy pretty quick, I have a better checklist. And then I have my best. If I wake up full of energy, I actually don't ever need that best checklist because I just go for it. That's the everything shower day. That's the every moisturizer, every piece of skincare, all of that. But I have every single thing. I have checklists for everything so that I don't think. I purposely I lay in bed with my husband and we talk for 15 minutes every morning. That's how I start my day, very slowly, very carefully. But I don't think about any actions that I need to take for the first 2 hours of my day.
I love this. I love this. It's never been spoken about before, and I can see the absolute benefit of this. You need a clear space to just be and evolve into the new day, right? Like without
Right.
that pressure. Okay, tell me about this then. This is interesting to me. So I'm wondering if we can elaborate a little bit more about this part because I think this will be very helpful. Do you check your phone in the morning? What is your phone routine so you're not obsessing with checking emails or social media or scrolling or
My
what?
phone
Hmm?
is in my office that is down the house where I don't go for the first couple hours of the day. I don't even use my phone for the first couple hours of the day. I have an iPad that is in my bedroom that I will check I have a Facebook messenger that's set up to talk to my nieces. That's the only thing. I have a specific messenger set up so I could talk to my nieces and my sister first thing in the morning because that will happen often because they're a couple hours ahead of me, um and I could chat with them, and that's a joy in my morning. That's not a thought process or anything like that. My husband may be sharing memes with me and things like that first thing in the morning, and that's how we can communicate and do that really, really easily. I may read a book in the morning on my iPad or my Kindle. But I keep my decisions really low. And when I say I have a checklist, I have a literal 3-ring binder with checklists in it. Like, I'm not kidding. I have a checklist for everything because decision fatigue is one of the biggest killers
Hmm.
for burnout, especially for women. We
Yes.
make so many decisions for everyone in our lives, for ourselves. And if you happen to be neurodivergent, then that decision fatigue is exacerbated by like 20 times, I think they said, because a neurotypical person thought it's time to get up and get a shower, and they get up and they get in the shower. For me, I've got to get up. That means I have to sit up, and that means I have to put my feet on the floor, and
Yes.
there's a really long internal monologue about getting out of bed, and then
Yeah.
there's a monologue about turning the water on for the shower and then getting in the shower and all of these things. If I've taken all of that out of my morning so that I don't have that anymore.
Okay, let me ask you another question. I'm going rogue now because this is very interesting and I think this is going to be very helpful to many. One of the other things that comes up, basically is probably more of a boundary thing. As entrepreneurs, many of us are so wanting to be available to our clients immediately when the client calls on us, and that's important, of course. However, I have been guilty of this where I'm on a camping trip with my husband and I don't want to have her wait till Monday, right? So I answer her, let's say on a Friday, but let's say something doesn't go through or there's this back and forth. And now I'm not even present anymore on the camping trip. I'm in my phone, I'm waiting for replies, and I'm trying to be of good service to let my client know I'm available for you. However, this burnout overwhelm that you're talking about, I can see exactly how I'm setting myself up for failure, and I know I'm not the only woman out there doing this. So can you maybe give me some helpful tips on how do you not like run to put out little fires everywhere, so to speak,
So
what's the,
I'm gonna be very honest with you here. This is
yes.
something that took me until 2 years ago to finally get.
Okay. Hmm.
So I've been an entrepreneur for almost 30 years, and it took me
Oh,
until two
okay.
years ago to learn this
Okay,
lesson.
good, good. So
This
get it.
lesson is one, you have to set boundaries. We hear that, set boundaries, but
Yes.
we can't set boundaries and keep those boundaries without support for those boundaries. So, how do we create support for those boundaries? One, make it impossible for people to message you outside of work hours. How does that work? I don't allow my clients to message me on Facebook Messenger because that's always on or it's off. That there is no in between. I don't allow clients to text my personal phone. None of that. There's no personal texting. My clients can message me through Slack, or we have a huge messaging system that we use and all of that. They can message me in those two places. You want to know what happens before I go on vacation? Those applications get deleted from my phone.
Wow.
And they both have away messages. I am on vacation. I am setting good boundaries for myself, and I
Yes.
am relaxing, and I have a whole entire really cute message that goes out to my clients to
Yeah.
remind them that they should do the same for themselves if they
Yes.
need something. I do give, even when
Love
I
that.
was a solopreneur and just one coach, I always made sure that I had somebody that was a backup for them so that they had support. Even if the support was, I've taken this message, I will reach out to Danielle and I will make sure she gets this. So I always had this because I deal with people in mental health crisis a lot of
Yeah.
times, that I
Yes.
had this fear that if I left my clients alone, that
Yeah.
some disaster would happen. So
Yeah.
what I did, my other boundary is I would get a text message once a day at a selected time for my person that was my backup. And we would discuss anything that needed to be discussed at that specific time via text message. I set a 15-minute timer to deal with the things I needed to deal with. And then I went back
Mhm.
to my vacation. And this did a few things for me. One, I set the expectation I was not going to respond immediately to anybody, period, end of story. Two, I set the expectation for myself that I was not responding immediately and I could not respond immediately because I have to remove the app from my phone. Three, I also set the comfort and expectation for myself and my husband that I do have a little bit I'm going to do. It is important. This has a priority in my life. I want to give it the priority, but it's at this time. This is the time limit, and this is how I'm going to do it.
I
Because then I was
love
able to
this.
focus on my vacation and do the
Mhm.
things and check in with my clients and do all of the things. So I had a sense of security and comfort that things were being handled. I had a
Mhm.
specific time I was dealing with that. So there wasn't that, because a lot of us who are neurodivergent will have that waiting problem. We're waiting for that thing to happen because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't have a clear
Yeah.
picture of all of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And that took all of that out for me.
I love this. Okay. Like, just this conversation is so great. And you know what? I will take your advice, especially because I do also believe in boundaries so much. And I encourage my other clients to set them for themselves because it is an act of self love and self respect. And I did attempt it. I had my like email thing that said I'm not available for office hours, so to speak. But I went off the track because I just it like lingers in my head. Oh, what's the email about? I get
Yeah.
curiosity and then I open the email and then I'm like, oh, then I'm in it, and I have to stop being curious. I'll be curious again on Monday.
Yeah,
But
exactly,
right,
exactly.
exactly.
And it's hard, but again, setting up that support system so
Yes.
that if anything important is handled immediately, at least,
Yes.
because 90% of our clients just need to be safe, seen, heard,
Yes. Uh-huh.
acknowledged. So if
Exactly.
you do that, or someone is doing it in your place, then it is taken care of.
Okay, I have another question for you because just listening to you, it is very obvious that you have beautiful systems in place, your checklist, your boundaries, the strategies you use to make sure that all plays out properly. I love this so much. I'm just curious, do you have moments where you kind of like self sabotage and how do you deal with that? For example, let's just take a healthy eating, for example. It's the easiest example. Okay, so you set out to have a healthier eating, whatever that means, juicing, however, it's a good plan. You're excited about it. It starts off right. And then there's a dinner invitation to hang out with your friends and something how do you stick to your um goals without self-sabotaging, or do you allow room for flexibility? And it could be anything. It could be business goals or, health,
So always
relationship.
allow room for flexibility. Always allow room to flexibility. But if you have a good support system and accountability, guess
Mhm.
what? You're less likely to self sabotage. You are 90% more likely to get the task done if you have accountability. You are
Mhm.
75% less likely to procrastinate and self sabotage.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
those are actual scientific data out there that you can go find.
Yes.
90% more likely to get things done. So that long list of tasks that you never seem to get to,
Yeah. Yeah.
and self sabotaging on eating or whatever. The other thing is you have to, you do in that accountability piece, you have to have somebody who is willing to tell you to stop.
Yeah.
Cut that out. What the hell are you doing? All of
Yeah.
these things. And I
Yeah.
have that person in my life. That person in my life happens to be my husband. I have a coach, I have an accountability person. But my husband, I was going back in my office and checking my email too much. Do you want to know what my husband did? My husband put a combination. I had to put in a very long, complicated combination on my office door
Office.
so that it had to be intentional and a major thought process for me because I got the stupid code wrong about 10 times out of
I
20.
I
It
love that.
drove me nuts. And if I get the code wrong too many times, that locks me out for 3 minutes.
I love it. It's almost like you're it's like you're creating almost like the opposite of an obstacle course, like a helpful course, so to speak. So you are taking away all of the obstacles that make you trip up. It's like a success path, basically, is what you're creating, and knowing yourself enough so that you know what to put in place. And this is what you do for your clients, which I love. I mean, it is so really, because I'm just excited about this, because we go along our ways and we think that we've we figured a lot of it out, but just the things that you're talking about, giving yourself a chance to not make any decisions, this can help all of us. That's what I mean. Your work helps everybody. It's
It's not just for
universally helpful.
neurodivergence, but
Exactly,
it's for,
exactly.
I mean, because we all need that.
Yes, yes, we do. Absolutely. Okay, so let me go on to the next success question. Thanks for going off the beaten path with me, because I found that extremely helpful. And I typically know if something is causing me to pay attention to, I know that it's for the same for others, for many of them. So, okay, so tell me about comfort zones and why it's important to push past them. What are the benefits?
So pushing past the comfort zone is going to grow you every time.
Mhm.
Is growth, pushing past your comfort zone, is growth always positive growth? No, absolutely not. Um, there, and I think one of the biggest things that I had to learn with comfort zone is there is no right or wrong answer in your business, in your life. There is zero perfection for answers. You have to just take chances, and 90% of your chances are going to fail. They're
Yeah.
going to be a disaster.
Mhm.
But being able to step back and review and
Mhm.
think, why did this fail? Where were the issues? How can I keep something from like this from happening again? Makes you a stronger human, stronger business owner, all of those things.
Yes.
And then when there are wins, and it is a good thing, they're epic wins
Yeah,
because you
they
took
are.
the time to reflect and figure out why the bad things have happened,
Mhm.
why that's not working, why. If we aren't curious and we aren't asking why, you're never going to grow.
Yes, I love
And
this.
I've gotten to do some amazing things because I
Yes.
was pushing myself outside of my comfort zone.
I love what you said about failing 99% of the time. I'm a firm believer in that. If you're not failing, you're not even trying, and you got to fail forward. So, one of the coaches that I'm in a program with, I love this about her. She's already a multimillionaire. She's got a gigantic, following, all of the things that most of us desire to have for ourselves. And she was open enough to say that it is only basically, I think she said less than 1% of her followers are actually purchasing her products. And she's a master at what she does. Like, she's amazing. And when she said that, because I think the assumption is, oh, she's so successful because 99.9% of her followers are buying from her. And that was not the case. It's like less than 1%. And it just took off the heaviness to feel like, oh, okay, well, that's possible. And it's okay then. She doesn't look at it like she's, so-called failing 99% of the time because 99% of her followers are not becoming clients. She's focusing on that 1% and delivering everything she has to them and to all of them, with her free stuff. But it was just one of those wow moments, because I think as we're building our entrepreneurial careers, and we see all of these, success stories, so to speak, in the bigger ways, like multimillionaire business women owners, and we think, oh, they just have something we don't. And she's saying 1%, right? Like that just took like, oh, okay. So I love that, because it just matters that you're willing to put yourself in the game and learn as you go, right? So yeah. On that
You
note,
have to be curious about success
yeah,
and fail, both success and failure. I call it, I do a
absolutely.
post mortem after every single thing I do. And I do that weekly. I should do it daily. I tell my clients to do it daily, but I honestly do it weekly. But I look at my week. What went well? What didn't go well? What should I have delegated?
Yeah,
What did I delegate that I should not have delegated?
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
am at the point I have a large team, and
yeah,
it takes time to learn to criticize yourself
yes,
in a healthy way,
yes, 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 yes,
not shame
absolutely.
myself,
That's right.
criticize myself.
Right. So we can evolve. So you can
Mm-hmm.
do it better next time. Okay, my last question. I just love this interview so much. But my last question is, what is your number one professional tip for women to grow their businesses? If you could only tell them one thing, what would you say?
Get yourself a life coach
Mm,
who is also a business coach and a health coach. You're looking for a holistic coach, because if you are not looking at a holistic coach, you're going to get help with one tiny area of your life, which means that area is going to start doing fantastic. When we have one area that starts doing fantastic, we all know the other areas fail. So you need somebody who's going to look at you and your life holistically: life, health, business, mental health, all of these things. You need to look at them holistically. Getting yourself a coach, a person who you're accountable to, who helps you stay on track, who looks at you, your business, your personal life, all of these things, and will help you create better systems, better processes, better everything for you, is way
yeah.
more important than hiring somebody for your business.
It is interesting that you say it that way, because, and I guess there is some truth to that. I've had some people say that when they find themselves succeeding in one area of their life, it has an overflow that other parts of their life start to improve because they've up leveled in one. So, like, let's say it's they started exercising, then all of a sudden the diet got better, and then all of a sudden they're feeling really good. So I don't know, maybe their business got better. So I guess it really, I totally believe in you. A coach is everything. And I guess it does this. This is kind of those individual things, but yeah, it is so true. Some people are so focused on the one success lane of that particular topic they're focusing on, that they're letting other things go by the wayside. And that's obviously, we don't want that to happen. We want, so I think, yeah, I guess it depends on the person, but it is so important to holistically ingrain everything together, because it makes no sense to succeed in one part of your life while something else is failing. You will never feel truly like you have arrived or are on the proper journey, right?
You're always in that I'm failing somewhere. I'm failing
Yeah,
shame cycle if you're not
yeah,
looking at everything holistically. And to like I'm not criticizing coaches that just handle one thing, because there are
right. Of
times to work on that
course,
one thing. You need to really
specializing.
dive
Yeah,
into
yeah,
to the one thing. But if you are looking for that super high level of success, you
yes,
need that holistic piece to take it
yes,
to the next level. um, this is after you've gotten some of the basic things done, and you've worked with that one-on-one coach. And I think this is where a lot of coaches fail, and I did for a very, very long time, is looking at person as a business coach. I'm a business coach. I have clients that I business coach with, and I'm autistic, so I was very compartmentalized with that, and I only did
mhm.
business coaching. And something was always failing. It wasn't There are very few coaches who are single coaches whose clients have long-term widespread success.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
Can you help a
because
client get success quickly? Yes, absolutely possible. But again, this is why we always need to have the right support system in place. Always need to have the right support system in place.
absolutely, I could not agree with you more. And the holistic thing, it really goes into discovering or learning more about who you really are. Where are your blocks? Where do you get in your own way? Where do you thrive naturally? What is easy for you? What is enjoyable for you? Really asking the big questions about how can I be overall successful and what does that look like? And then applying them those to the different topics. Let's just say this: the school of money, the school of relationships, the school of health, right? And then to have somebody like yourself be able to help that person get it in an order that works customized for them, because that's the whole authenticity, holisticness, everything that grows. It's like really beautiful soil that you're planting the seeds on, and all different types of flowers. So you got one type of flower for business, one type of flower for money, one type of flower for relationships, one type of flower for health, whatever it might be. But because you have created a beautiful foundation, right? Which is what you are helping, or life coaches are helping with, then it's just a beautiful growth, and you have a full garden, an
Right.
assorted, gorgeous, healthy garden without the weeds that are
Exactly.
self-sabotaging it, right?
And the big thing is, when as women, I don't see this in my male clients quite as much, but as women, we think we have to do it on our own. We think we have to figure
Yeah.
it out.
Mm-hmm.
Or we hire somebody for the one thing and we get that one
Mm-hmm.
thing figured out. We
Mm-hmm.
usually disconnect ourselves from the support person that we hired faster than we probably should have,
Yes.
because I only paid for a 12-week program. Well, really,
Yes.
you probably
Mm-hmm.
needed 32 weeks and not just
Yes.
12.
Yes.
And we as women are very determined that we can do this in less time than somebody else did it,
Yes.
all of these things.
Yes.
And then we have all of this stuff, we have all of this beautiful growth, and then because we are determined to do it by ourselves and not have support and not ask for help, then we fail.
Yeah.
And we end up in this cycle of
Cycle.
doing great for
Mm-hmm.
a little while and then
Yep.
crashing, and doing
And
great
it's
for
an
a little while and
exhausting,
crashing.
yeah, it's an
Yeah.
exhausting cycle. And that's burnout, and that's overwhelm, and that's everything that doesn't feel good or inspire you to continue moving forward and being able to achieve your greatest potentials and help others and be of service and just have really an up leveled life and reach your potentials. And I just love that. I really love this conversation today because I'm taking away tips that I am going to incorporate. And I know that the women listening to this are going to also. And I'm so excited for the programs that you offer them. So before we sign off, just tell them one more time your website URL so that they can find you.
ND Out Loud, Neurodivergent Out Loud. You can actually type in Neurodivergent Out Loud if that makes you feel better. NDOutloud.com. You can find, that's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us everywhere under that name.
Everywhere. Wow. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing this beautiful journey of your own, and now this beautiful service that you are offering. It is just so inspiring, and I'm so proud to get your work out there. So thank you so much for being here, really.
Thank you for
And
having me.
and then So all you beautiful, wealthy women out there, and when I say wealthy, I don't mean money. I mean basically holistically loving yourself, getting to know yourself, showing up in all of the beautiful ways, being wealthy in all parts of your life. Just really reach out to Danielle and really like take some of the tips she spoke about today and apply them, because we're all in this together. We're all pretty much going on this journey, and we get these little roadblocks and we don't know how to manage them, and then we think it's us, and that it's all our fault. We are too tough on ourselves, when really we just need some better systems that are more customized to our own personal styles. And yes, so share this, please share this interview with anyone that will just benefit from this, as well as yourself, and reach out. And I just want to say, keep going for your dreams. Fail forward, you're going to get there. Take that failure as a sign that you are in action, making it your dreams come true, and you will get there. And don't forget to remind yourself how far you've already come. Don't forget to stop and compliment yourself and congratulate yourself, and think back about the journey that you've already succeeded, and just know, well, that's going to be the same going forward. It's just this journey, and you will succeed the entire way. And just follow your true, authentic self, and you will get there, and enjoy the process, because that is what it's
Very much
really all about. Very much
enjoy
so, right?
every process.
I
Yes.
love it. Okay, well, until next time, I look forward to hearing about your successes and inspire you to keep going forward with what you're doing. So bye for now.